This is an 1876 Centennial pocket revolver manufactured by F.W. Hood, patented March 14th, 1876. Uh, this pistol made its debut at the Philadelphia Centennial World Expo of 1876. Of course, this was back in 1876. You had Colt, Smith & Wesson making very similar pistols to this. The 22 and 22 short, 32 caliber pocket revolvers were very popular back then, and you had Ivor Johnson, Hopkins and Allen, and a ton of other manufacturers copying and making a few minor changes to Smith & Wesson design and hoping that they would slip by the patent laws. And this guy here, F.W. Hood, I guess had a different idea that he was going to just design it from ground up on his own design and see if he could get a patent approved, which he did. And I'm sure he borrowed heavily from those other manufacturers' designs, but added a few things of his own to make it unique to his design, and I guess unique enough to get the patent approved. But the really interesting thing I wanted to share about this pistol is the story that came with it. Bought this from a gentleman in Homer, Louisiana, which is where Pat Garrett's family lived. They had a farm there. It was the family farm. And his parents and brothers and sisters and a lot of his family stayed there after he went out west to seek fame and fortune. He had, I know, at least two brothers that lived there, and that most of the family, immediate family, is actually buried there. They stayed there for their entire life. But the story behind this pistol is that Alfred Garrett, which is Pat Garrett's brother, this was a pistol which belonged to him, along with another pistol, which was a little pinfire revolver, which was sold to someone else. It was a 7mm pinfire, which was another popular import pistol back in the day. But the story is that Pat Garrett, who of course is Pat Garrett the lawman, shot Billy the Kid, pretty famous character in Wild West history. The story is Pat, I guess, either purchased these two pistols or acquired them somehow in his adventures, and for his brother Alfred's 21st birthday, Pat gave him this pistol and the pinfire revolver as a gift for his 21st birthday. Of course, time passes by, and at some point after that, according to the person I bought this from, Alfred Garrett's son, who of course inherited the pistols, sold this pistol to the grandfather of the person who I bought it from. Of course, all that it's a great story. But as you know, some of those stories, if you collect antiques or into antiques or anything, a lot of things you buy will have stories like that behind them that, you may believe. I mean, I really believe this person was telling me the truth, and they believe the story completely, but proving it is a completely different matter. There's really no way that you can prove who this pistol belonged to back in the day. It's not like Smith & Wesson where you can, write for a letter to give you some clues as to where it was sold and who bought it, and all that. There's no F.W. Hood around to ask such questions. The only thing that I can think of that I possibly have a lead in is actually trying to contact some of Pat Garrett's family, who I know there's some of them still around, because there was controversy last year, the year before, when I believe it was Arizona was wanting to give Billy the Kid a pardon for all of his crimes there. And at that time, a lot of Pat Garrett's descendants kind of came out of the woodworks and really created a campaign to not have that happen, because it would kind of dishonor Pat Garrett and everything that he did, which is you know, there's different stories to be told about that. And once again, that's one of those things that, you know, nobody will probably ever really know exactly what happened with it between him and Billy the Kid. A lot of people say Billy the Kid was just kind of a victim of circumstances, and he started out with one little petty theft, and it kind of all went downhill after that, and got into a environment where he just did what he had to do. And you know, you have people who say Pat Garrett did some things, you know, also. I guess everybody did out in the Wild West, did some things that would be frowned upon today. But anyway, that's the story behind this. Anybody out there knows anything about this story or anything that can help me out here, or any ideas of what I can do to help prove that story, I'd love to hear from you. But other than that, thanks for listening. Have a great day.